This is another campaign where I play the Rise of the Republic DLC. This one I found really challenging because I kept dealing with revolts over and over again. I have this one faction that I'm fighting against, and it takes forever to really subdue them. I keep attacking this smaller town of theirs, Sizra, and I don't know how many times I had to capture the city and then it gets recaptured by them, and then I have to capture it again, and then they take it back, and then I recapture it, and they take it back, and then there's a revolt, and then that one I just found really hard. I kept the tax rate really high during the entire game, so that's partly why they kept revolting. Um, because the tax rate was so high, and I always sacked the cities after I captured them. That always irritates the population. And I have these guys in raiding mode, so it also causes revolts. I think it was in the middle of. I think it was about as soon as I captured this city, their capital city, the guys on the other side of the map started attacking me. So what I did was, well, this is I don't know what happened here. So this is one of the battles that I actually played rather than auto resolved, and this is for the smaller town, Sizra. This one I This one I was expecting to lose because the odds were sort of against me on this one. They had two big armies, and I only had the small garrison. Uh, so I captured as soon as I captured that, I had to go and capture the capital city. I think I don't remember what happened here. It looks like I had to raise a new army. I had to raise a new army. I had, these these guys had to get replenished, and then I was able to capture the smaller city. Once I did that, I think I captured the capital city on the other side. Let's see what happens. Oh no, I go. Looks like I put everybody to capture this one, and I subjugated it rather than captured it because I auto resolved that battle, and I wanted to come back later and actually play it. So I just auto resolved and subjugated them. They were gonna revolt anyway. They usually do. So then I captured this other town. But for I think the remainder of this game, what happens is um I think I go and capture this capital city here, V, and for the rest of the game, or at least for the rest of this 2 hour session, it's just they keep uh revolting, and there's constant uprisings, and it's like I can't really expand past these five different settlements. And that's just basically how this goes. I have to capture this capital city. I think at this point I subjugated them again, but I know that they're going to revolt. I know that they're going to revolt later, so I just bide my time. Um, Build up my army and just wait for them to overthrow and try to keep the provinces. Part of the reason why I kept the tax rate so high and let the populations keep revolting is I wanted my armies to get experience, and they can't really do that unless they have a lot of battles. So even though it was irritating for me to constantly fight these, um, it was partly intentional. Even though it was irritating, it was partly intentional so that my armies could get battlefield experience. And then this is where I actually assault the city. I have this, it's called a gallery, but I don't know what that's for. Because they just set fire to it and it doesn't have a battering ram. I think it's just to cover them, but it didn't really provide much protection because the city archers just set it on fire. Then I have these ladders. And so the the spearmen are trying to capture the walls here, and I have a different set of guys trying to set fire to the gates. What was weird about this, what was weird about this campaign is I couldn't figure out how to. Normally, I would knock down the gates with like a catapult or a ballista, but there's no artillery in this version of the game or in this DLC. And so I could only use siege weapons, and there's only ladders and towers, no battering rams, so that was a headache. Um, and then I think for the remainder of this game, I just keep dealing with uprisings. I have to recapture it, and they keep taking it, and I recapture it. But yeah, I don't know where it's gonna go from here. I think I'm gonna lower for the next session. I guess I'm gonna lower the tax rate so they stop uprising, and then build my forces. Once they're built, I'll go attack one of these other factions. These guys to the south seem to get along with my faction, so I don't want to declare war on them. Might be these guys. These guys to the west, to the east.